Bonjour mes amis, welcome back. This is week 3 of the video weekly installment experiment that I have going on here. I'm pleased to note that there seems to be quite a few people who are enjoying the nonsense that I ramble, and so I am going to ramble at you some more. Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with a few questions from An Ounce of Loyalty. As I've probably mentioned quite a few times before, Emma is fantastic. That's the human behind the blog. Guy, her character, is also amazing, and you should be following them both if you're not already. Well, following Guy, because Emma's there. So, yes. Anyways, do you have a list of favorite books? I don't have a list, but I do have quite a few favorite books. Some of those, obviously, including but not limited to Fahrenheit 451. You've all heard me talk about it before. I love it. Ray Bradbury, amazing. World War Z is on my list of favorite books. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The Time Machine. Terribly fond of A Tale of Two Cities. Exceptionally fond of Duma Key. It's a Stephen King book, one of the newer ones that he put out. It was actually really good. The whole Gunslinger series, The Hobbit, obviously. I could really wax poetic about books for quite some time, but I will, I'll keep it short. Tell us your favorite food. I can't pick just one. You should know by now, Emma. Food-related questions have to be like a top 5 because I love food. This week's favorite, or perhaps the one that I've been craving the most frequently, is fresh-baked French bread. There's a shop by my house that makes amazing French bread. It is to die for. When you crunch it, the crust crackles, and you get that whiff of that really bready whiff of just, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's amazing. Have you ever had a dream so memorable that it sticks with you to this day? Yes. I have recurring nightmares. They are many and various, and different random nightmares that crop up time and time again, and they all kind of began when I was a teenager or pre-adolescent, I guess. I want to say maybe 10, 11, 12. I started having nightmares that they pop up every couple of years, actually, and I'll wake up in the morning and, or actually partially through the dream, I'll remember that it's a nightmare and that I've been there before, and that is actually, fun fact about me, I can lucid dream. I can change my dreams but only when they are these recurring nightmares, because I recognize the dream sequence, and then I can change how I react in it. It's pretty cool, actually. Screaming terror aside, it's pretty cool. Okay, let's move on here to Dana. Okay, she is posting off of the Book of Sands, which is one of her accounts. I think it's supposed to be Rebox. I think so. Yes. From the Lucifer Box series. She's adorable. She also has Dimmick RP, which, fantastic blog. Okay, so she says, anyhow, if you don't have the prayer question I asked you earlier as a headcanon, she actually texted me this morning an interesting question. Does Balthazar hear prayers at all, or answer them? And she was saying that would be an interesting one if I don't mind answering it again. I absolutely do want to answer that one again. Yes, Balthazar hears prayers. He actually is, and this is coming from him, not me, he's buddies with St. Jude, and from time to time Jude will shuffle him the prayers of older siblings that are trying to keep their family together or in difficult situations, usually middle children who are looking after the younger ones and trying to live up to the expectations of the older ones, and he'll shuffle those prayers over to Balthazar, and Balth really loves that about his buddy. He's like, that is the coolest thing, because I know them and I know the situation that they're in, and I feel like I can actually do some good there. He also gets charges randomly. He adopts some of them. Others he gets sort of directed to. For example, Tony Stark, he was kind of directed to. He won't say who, but someone directed him in Tony's direction. Natasha, he decided, he was just like, no, you're my charge. No dying for you, little Russian one. That would be Fiery Black Widow, just in case anybody was curious there. And the Tony would be Self-Made Superego. Fantastic. Both of them. Amazing. So yes, Balthazar does hear prayers. He does answer prayers. He gets a lot of really random ones. He has a love-hate relationship with Christmas time because people are talking about the three magi, and he's like, I know, I'm magnificent, but please leave me out of your sermons. It's very disconcerting to show up with, a glass of wine in the middle of a church ceremony and be like, oh, you weren't calling me, were you? I'll just go sit in the back. Don't worry, Father, I'm only judging you a little bit. Alright. I'm judging you a lot. Okay, and in case you want another one, does Balth have any plans about David's schooling and such yet, or is he just taking everything one step at a time? Dimmick especially is curious about this, since if they live together for that long, he'll have to take that into consideration when planning Ryan's school. Yes. Balth has plans for David's schooling. He wants to go back to France and enroll him in the crèche. It's the cradle. It's basically French school for smallish sized children. As soon as David is old enough to hide his wings, he is actually going to be put into public school, because Balthazar feels that the more exposure he gets to humans, the better prepared he will be to spend his life among them. But until then, which it could actually be quite some time, before David learns to actually put aside, or hide, his wings. Until then, he's probably going to homeschool him, reading, writing, basic sums, and what have you. Certainly a large focus on history, I'm sure. And he's probably just going to be like, Dimmick, go do whatever it is that you do at the yard, and Ryan, David, and I are going to go work on our flashcards. He raised a bunch of fledges when he was younger. He's a fairly old hat at being a parent. Well, that was like older brother status, but it was kind of parenting. More parenting than most of the fledges got anyways. Ooh, I made myself sad. Moving on! Okay, let me see. From Dean Bitch Winchester. Hello, and I'm sincerely enjoying our thread together. Welcome to Monday videos. What got you to start this blog? I actually started this blog because I was sick of Twitter's character limit, and that is where I actually started role-playing Balthazar. Well, I started role-playing Balthazar on a website, like a role-play website. It was called Passionate Addictions. Oh, yes, my Balthazar was not terribly good. Well, no, he was good, but I wasn't good at expressing him, I think. So I started because after that website went down because of a lot of infighting and what have you, I tried a couple of other roleplay websites and it just didn't work out. So I moved to Twitter. Things got awkward there. And then I moved on to Tumblr, and I actually never really messed with this blog too much. And then there was a Gabriel that asked for headcanons, and I was following them on my personal, and I gave them this headcanon that I have, that Balthazar's sense of humor is a direct replication of Gabriel's. He used to be just kind of like playful and joking and laughing and, Mr. I like to play fun pranks on people to make my older brother laugh and smile. And then when Gabriel left, his sense of humor took a very, very dark sort of 180-degree turn, and he became sarcastic and snarky and just very brusque and not necessarily a fan of authority or those in charge or anything like that. And I submitted that to her, and she was like, oh my god, now I need a Balthazar. And I was like, I have a Balthazar blog. And I've been here ever since. Why are you on as you are? I don't understand the question. Why am I on as I am? Why am I like off and on throughout the day? Because I sneakily reply from work a lot when I shouldn't be, but I have some downtime. I sell auto insurance, and we have slow days from time to time, and if I have time on the phones, I'm on. And then there's that big gap of time in the early evening when I'm not on. I'm at home with my 5-year-old, hanging out, doing the mom thing, and when she goes to bed I come on, and I stay on usually a little after midnight, maybe 1 or 2 a.m., and then hit the hay, because I have a delayed phase sleep syndrome. Delayed sleep phase disorder, whatever. My circadian rhythm is off, and it's physically impossible for me to fall asleep before midnight. Yeah, which is why on Saturday nights I drink a little bit of scotch before bed so that I can sleep, because Sunday mornings I'm up at 4:30 for work. It's fun. Why your muse? Everybody wants to know this one. Why Balthazar? Balthazar just really calls to me on a very, very deep level. He's an older brother. I'm an older sister. I'm the oldest of 7. Thankfully, we don't all live together, or one of us would be dead. Many of us would be dead, I'm sure. Ooh, it's a terrible thing to say with a muse that's not technically canon alive right now. That's all I want from season 9, okay, is Gabe and Balth to be, like, back and, like, pranking buddies and just be like, what? Don't tell me you missed us. You know, that'd be amazing. He really calls to me. He's sarcastic and a little ragged around the edges, but he gets up and he keeps going, and he fights. And he's not afraid to do things that he needs to do for the survival of himself, but at the same time he's a really good older brother. He's made mistakes, but you get the sense from Balthazar that he tries his hardest. He tries his best. And with the exception of skipping out of heaven with the contents of the armory, he works his ass off to be a good big brother. So, with the exception of some of my mistakes, I work my ass off to be a good big sister and a good mom, and I get that, man. I know the feeling of feeling like you are disappointing everyone ever, and you can't get anything right, and you're fucking up left, right, and center, and you gotta get back up. Balth gives me the strength to get back up. Who do you like to roleplay with? Now that I've made myself all emotional, hang on. Oh, gosh. Okay, right. Who do I like to roleplay with? Lots of people, actually. Motor Oil and Alcohol, Angelic Muse, obviously you, Dean Bitch Winchester, fantastic. Dimick RP, Sugar Addicted Archangel, Rather Like a Spokesperson, X-Board, X as, Bored as Hell in Hell 666. I'm not even gonna, I swear to God, your name is like a MySpace name. I don't even. Samandriel, Angel of the Lord, Winter Davenport, Lazarus Holmes, Addo Finale, Jim Blog, fantastic Jim Blog. I owe them on like a couple of responses. Anyways, lots of people. That is a good question. Lots of people. Chances are, if I have like flailed at you or talked to you OOC or if we have a thread that's languishing in my drafts, I apologize. I love you. I really enjoy speaking to you. I promise. It's not you. It's that my life is a hot mess and I do my best. Okay. What is your preferred style of roleplay? I really like to do 1 to 2 paragraph responses because I feel like that gives me enough space to describe adequately what's going on, but sometimes I like one-liners too. And I have to say, when Gabe and Balthazar text each other, it's the funniest shit on the frickin' planet. I just can't. They're ridiculous. It's sugar addicted for you. Ridiculous, these two. They're fantastic. Okay, why is it you took up role-playing in the first place? Actually, a friend got me into it, and it's a awkward kind of story. I role-played a member in a band that will remain nameless. Shut up, Dana. You know nothing about this. Don't tell anyone. Moving on. If the stars doth shine, doth your heart shine too. I'm fairly certain that that is a Shakespearean sonnet, but I can't remember which one, and I apologize. I was actually president of my high school Shakespeare club, and I have disgraced the bard. But yes, if the stars doth shine, my heart doth shine too. Yes. And do you take compliments well? No, I don't. I really dislike compliments. It's genuinely upsetting to me because I have no idea how to respond. I don't get compliments very often, IRL. I don't do well with them. I'm doing better. I've learned not to argue with people sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes. No, I don't, to answer your question. What is your usual response to role plays that get emotional, i.e. sad, cute, happy, angsty? I actually have spent a lot of time sobbing hysterically at the computer screen and trying to type, because when Balth gets the feels, I get the feels, and when I get the feels, Balth gets the feels really, really hard, and happy role plays make me, like, I'm just like, oh my god. Cute role plays, I tend to just be like, shut up, you adorable little shits, I swear to God. I cannot even with you. But, yes, I angst, I like legit tears. I cry. It's terrible. I need a bucket for my sobs, you have no idea. Finally, where does your inspiration come from? I don't want to be all, like, hipster and be like, my inspiration comes from within. I don't know. Maybe hipsters wouldn't say that. I don't know many hipsters. I apologize to any of those that I may have offended. That is, if you're a hipster, I apologize. Where does my inspiration come from? Honestly, it comes from a lot of places. Art, music. I have been known to write drabbles because of food. I'm a very sensation-based person, and I try to reflect that in my writing. My inspiration kind of comes from all around me, but my inspiration for Balthazar is definitely, a lot of responses have been written to Stereo Mood's Paris playlist or Haunting playlist. I like Stereo Mood a lot. I like to listen to French love songs when I write his replies because he really loves French love songs. He's kind of adorable like that. It's really cute. Definitely. Music is a big one. It's a huge one. Music can set the tone for a whole piece. Music, food, art, nature, all around, really. It just depends what I'm writing. That concludes our questions from Dean Bitch Winchester. I really love your URL. It's fantastic. Okay. sorry about that. Okay. So now we have Angelic Muse asking me favorite snack food. And Angelic Muse is actually one of my sister's blogs, Christina. She's not my blood sister, but we might as well be sisters at this point. Yeah. I'm not rolling my eyes because I don't love you. I'm rolling my eyes because your face. Anyways, favorite snack food. I really like pistachios a lot. Roasted pumpkin seeds, salted pistachios, I should specify. Fresh fruit, bread. God, I love bread. French bread, croissants, rolls, the works. Currently, though, it's salted pistachios because they're amazing. Also, beef jerky, homemade beef jerky. My dad actually makes like giant flats of beef jerky, and it's amazing. And he always mails us some, and it's really good. Favorite coffee / espresso based drink. Currently, I'm gonna have to go with the salted caramel. Not frappuccino, nothing cold. Salted caramel mocha, I think, at Starbucks that they put out in the autumn, because salted caramel anything is amazeballs. But no, it's either definitely the salted caramel or in the summertime the mocha cookie crumble. Or actually, I really love straight espresso, the kind that they give you in like a little glass, and it's just like, it is like a shot of jet fuel. And then you tap a little bit of sugar in that and you just shoot it. It's amazing. It's amazing, I'm telling you. Like, seriously. Cafe Americano, Cafe Solo. I like Red Eyes. That's coffee with a shot of espresso in it. It's just coffee with a shot of espresso in it. It's amazing. I could wax poetic about coffee for forever. I really love coffee. It's a thing. Definitely. Ever considered making a blog for another muse? And then she has, out of character in the double parentheses, Mun smacks Sarah for the last one. Stop it, Sarah. I have, actually. I keep saying I need to, but I need to make a blog for my Bobby muse because he's becoming more and more vocal these days. And he won't shut up. He disapproves of a lot of my life choices. I feel like you should all know that. He's the voice in the back of my head going, really? That's what you're gonna eat? Okay, kid. If you had to pick between lace, satin, or silk, which would it be? Silk. Hands down. Silk. I love silk. Silk feels amazing on your skin. Satin only has the one side that feels good, but silk feels good if it's raw silk, if it's finished silk, etc. It's fantastic. It's lightweight. It's beautiful. It's amazing to work with. It's actually a pain to work with. It's really hard to work with, but if you can do it right, it's wonderful. Lace is just itchy. Don't get me wrong, lace is hot and all, but it's itchy. Thank you. Winter Davenport says, what are 2 of Balth's and your own personal triumphs, greatest achievements, and regrets? Okay, this is gonna get emo. I feel like you should know that because you included regrets. We're gonna take it subject by subject. Personal triumphs, for Balthazar, it was learning to throw his angel blade and learning to step through time, because for everybody else, I guess that's kind of a difficult thing, but for him, it's like second nature. Just gonna jet back to the Titanic and screw some stuff up, you know. Like, it's no big deal for him. It's truly no big deal, and he loves it. My own personal triumphs, I seem to write a lot of stuff that people enjoy, and that makes me extremely happy. Personal triumphs. Okay, so I used to work as an auto mechanic. Well, not as an auto mechanic, but as a mechanic at a small family amusement park. And I recently saw the lead mechanic from there, and he mentioned to me that they were hiring, and would I please, please, please come back? And I counted that as a personal triumph, because when I started there, they told me, and I thought it was incredibly stupid, I had been hired for prize counter and cashier work because I am female. And they told me that I was only going to learn to operate the rides that you could operate with a key turn and a button push. And I thought that was fucking stupid. Why? And I promptly threw out a challenge. Anything the guys that I got hired with can do, I can do better. Faster, smarter, and safer. Because it's it's a small family amusement park. You have to follow the rules. It's important, or people die. And I was actually the first outdoor female ride operator that worked there. I won't name any names because that is verging on the grounds of slander, and I won't do that because that's illegal. I also used to be editor-in-chief of my high school newspaper, which is why I know the difference between slander and libel. I've watched that line. Anyways, and I went from ride operator to the one of the mechanics there. And I was actually really good at it. And it feels good, man. Because I know how to change my own tires. I know how to change the oil in my vehicle, change out, timing belts and what have you. I can do most minor car maintenance by myself. I don't choose to because I don't want to change my oil because it's kind of gross. And I'm lazy and I don't feel like putting it up on a lift, and then you gotta just, it's a mess, man. I'll pay somebody to do that. Like, I know how to. I would be reasonably well prepared in the event of an apocalypse to care for my own vehicles, but it's a lot of effort. So yes, being told that would I please come back and be a mechanic again for them was kind of a personal triumph for me, because when they hired me, it was under the most misogynistic pretenses possible. You're a girl, there's no way you can do this, so we're not going to make you even try, hun. You're going to be inside. And I kicked ass at it. I was amazing. Greatest achievements. I feel like personal triumphs and greatest achievements are the same thing. Yeah. Yep. I guess under greatest achievements, you could file for Balthazar. The fledges that he raised all. Fuck, I can't say they all lived. Oh. That hurts my heart, and I really hope that there's not a Samandriel watching this right now. Laura, turn away from the screen. Oh, all of his babies lived until Sammy died. Oh, that hurts. Right here. While he was in heaven, he kept them alive. Ouch. And instilled in them the ability to think for themselves. Which is why so many of his babies have been like little rebels. Adorable little rebels. Led by one in a trench coat. So cute. Anyways, now that I've made myself sad, I guess my greatest achievement is I have a smallish sized child and she's 5. And I've basically done it on my own. Yeah. No, I pay the majority share of bills. I'm a single parent. I make it on a daily basis living with an alcoholic mother who is emotionally and verbally abusive. I'm saving to get out, obviously. But my greatest achievement is that I don't let that rule me. I don't let my brain chemistry rule me, and I don't let my situation rule me. And no matter what happens, I can find something positive. Because I'm a champ. That's why. I have the weirdest self-esteem of anybody I've ever met. on the one hand, I think I'm fairly fucking awesome. On the other hand, I kind of hate myself, so that's another reason of why Balthazar. And regrets. Ooh. I regret not finishing my college degree because if I'm going to earn not a lot of money, I'd rather be an archaeologist earning not a lot of money than a auto insurance salesperson earning not a lot of money. Balthazar's greatest regret is leaving heaven without his babies. He doesn't regret leaving because it had to be done. There was no way he could have stayed and continued to be basically the whipping boy for all of Gabriel's faults after Gabe left. Everything was blamed on Balth. So there's that. He was the next sassiest, most rebellious brat in the garrison, and he got blamed for everything. So he couldn't take it anymore, and he doesn't regret leaving. He regrets not taking his babies with him. He feels like he should have definitely taken the fledges that he was in charge of to Earth and tried to keep them safe and under the radar and not in heaven. He doesn't have a very high opinion of heaven. Yeah. Okay. Also, read us a little something from whatever bodice ripper is laying around in your best audiobook narrator voice, because reasons, with a smiling face. So, it started as a joke, because she told me that I could narrate audiobooks, and I said that I would love to, and that you guys haven't even heard my actual, like, my phone voice that I use at work, or my audiobook narrator voice. And so she goes, I have something to add to my questions. I'm like, damn it. Okay, so it took me a while to actually find a bodice ripper because that's not my primary reading material, and even this one has a lot of elements of the supernatural in it. So we are going to be reading from The Killing Dance by Laurel K. Hamilton. Yes, I am an Anita Blake fan. So sue me. Okay. Meet me halfway, I said. Richard smiled. Always. He walked to meet me. The muscles in his stomach rippled as he moved. I was suddenly sorry that I was wearing jeans and a polo shirt. I wanted him to see me in the lingerie I'd bought. I wanted his hands to run over the silk and my body underneath. Richard and I stopped inches away from each other, neither one touching. I could smell his aftershave faintly. I was close enough to feel the warmth of his body. I wanted to run my hands over his bare chest. I wanted to run my hands across the front of those silk shorts. The thought was so real, I crossed my arms to keep my hands busy. My little brother just walked in. Come here a minute.
Well, I'm not here.
Come here.
What?
Would you like to say hello to Tumblr?
How's it going, Tumblr? Oh, wait. I'm down for this stuff.
Yeah, you gotta bend
How's
down.
it going, No. There we go. How's it going, Tumblr?
That's my brother. That's who randomly walks through when I'm doing my videos. Bless his heart, the other day he walked through for the porn preferences portion of the video.
That was awkward.
It was awkward.
It's not my fault, really. She never gives me a heads up, so I mean...
It's Mondays. Every Monday.
Thank you.
Monday.
Now I know. Every Monday I'll not walk out here.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
This is, yeah. This is my life. Welcome. Hello. I can no longer continue to read this. Yeah, no. I think we're done. That was a small portion. Thank you for the excellent questions. I would like to actually get serious for like 2 seconds here and do a PSA. Role-playing is supposed to be fun. If you role-play with someone who makes you feel bad about yourself, or upsets you, or deliberately triggers things for you, or gives you anxiety, or makes you feel like you're not a good person, or not a good friend, or makes you consider deleting your blog, you don't need to roleplay with them. Those are not the kind of people that you should be role-playing with. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to find friends. That's not how a friend treats you, and it's not okay. And if anybody is ever treating you like that, or making you feel that way, you need to back away. I'm always here. My inbox is always open. It may take me a little while to respond, especially if I'm at work, but I'm gonna respond. I'm here for you guys, and I love you, and I seriously mean every single one of you. Last time I checked, I had like 740 followers. Every last one of you. I care. I'm here. So, on that serious note, I love you guys. Thank you so much for continuing to make this an amazing experience. Comme toujours, bonne chance et bonne nuit.